Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I will take you for a walk in this magnificent forest. We have a winter wonderland here in Slovenia and it's a beautiful place. So if you haven't got your daily dose of nature yet, I prefer to put your headphones on and let's go for a walk with me. So for everyone who may find yourself right now feeling a bit down, I want to talk a bit what can we learn from nature. There's so much we can learn from nature. And for example, when we feel down a little bit, we may say, well, I have a bad day, right? I have a bad day. But there's no bad days in nature. In nature we may find days of blooming, season of blooming, and we may find season of rest, of recharge, right? Rejuvenation. That's what we may find. We may find light and we may find shadows, and they coexist together. And we may find a great harmony because of this coexistence. Because trees are not judging each other for its differences. And that's the great wisdom of nature. And it's so simple that we ignore it. It's so simple that we ignore it. So when it comes to our daily lives, we need to learn to apply the wisdom of nature. We need to learn to stop judging our days because they're not as we would like them to be. But actually, our days are like nature would like you to be. So you would find the meaning and reason why you are the way you are right at this moment. Because sometimes when we feel tired and when we feel down, we are exactly that way. Because maybe in the future something incredible is waiting us, and for that we need to recharge our batteries. Right? It's a different approach because you may think you should thrive all the time, right? You should thrive all the time, but it's not like that. Of course, thriving comes from passion, but also compassion, right? If we want to thrive, we need to be passionate, but compassionate as well. And if you want to thrive all the time, you need to have compassion towards yourself, which means that you need to know when to take time for yourself, when to recharge your batteries, when to go to places like that and just be, and just observe and learn from everything you can learn. Observe, be observer. Do you know how to be an observer? When you just look around and find what you haven't seen before. You may say, well, I've seen all those trees, but not the way you see it right now. Every single day you have a new perception. You have a new pair of eyes. Every single day, cells are dividing, new cells are being born. So every single moment you have a new body, refreshed body. And it's also important to refresh our minds here and there. To go and to see. So my friends, when you say, I have a bad day, say to yourself, I need to rest. I need to rest, and go and rest and rejuvenate. Recharge your batteries, because empty cup has nothing to share, right? When your cup is empty, you have nothing to share. Oh, isn't it beautiful? So we could just walk here in circles. So much to see. So one may wonder how to fill up my cup, right? How to fill up our cups, because some people are just more full with energy or more filled with energy than others. But when you look deeper, you recognize that they do something differently. Right, those people who are more filled with energy, they do something differently than others. And what they do differently, they listen to themselves. That's what they do differently. When they feel they need to rest, they rest. When they feel inspired, they share inspiration. When they feel like something is bothering them, they take care of that, right? When you feel that something is bothering you, you need to take care of what's bothering you. You need to discover what's not serving you anymore, what's wrong. You need to be open. You need to be vulnerable with yourself. You need to share with somebody what you're going through so you recognize you're not alone in this process. You're never alone. Maybe sometimes it feels like you are because there's nobody who would understand you. So you need to expand your horizons a little bit and find somebody. You know, when intentions are pure and clear, when there's clarity in your mind, path will align and you will find the right people with whom you can share your vulnerability with. Maybe sometimes it may be a therapist, sometimes it may be a coach, sometimes it may be a family member or a good friend. But ask for help when you need it. It's an honest advice because we are used to live in pride, not because there's something wrong with us or because it's our fault that we are that way. It's because of our ancestry. Because, you know, our ancestors, they've been through wars, they've been through heavy stuff, and they had no time to deal with their shadows, to deal with their pain. And that's what we hold within our DNA. So it's not something we should be ashamed of. It's not something we should be avoiding or ignoring or hiding from others. It comes to acceptance. It's a part of my family tree. Our ancient ancestors, one of the greatest value they had is respect for their family, right? Respect for their family, honor for their family, for all the family members. And that's what we've lost in this modern society. So we need to understand that everything that's within us is not just our fault. It comes from generations and generations, and we are slowly learning to deal with that so we can thrive, so we can be all that we've come here to be. And it takes time to recognize all of that. It takes time to resolve all of that. So be okay with that. Be patient with yourself, because all you can do is to be patient. And while being patient, life will be guiding you towards where you need to be. So you need to stay open-minded so you can see signs, miracles, and synchronicities, right? Can you see synchronicities in your life? Because they're always present. They're actually unfolding like tiny little miracles. Maybe this video is a synchronicity for you. Maybe you've come across a book that changed your life. Maybe you've come across a quote today on social media that uplifted your perception a little bit, or state of being maybe. So you see, we don't know that, but we are always guided by ourselves. Right? Interesting, isn't that interesting? We are guided by ourselves. You see, Native Americans had that concept of a higher self. But in all different spiritual traditions, there is a concept of lower self that is like a lower ego self. It's a self that's aware of our emotional desires and needs, and usually that self is kind of giving us an illusion of separation, because if we don't raise our awareness beyond that, not that we let go of it, not that we detach from that self, ego self, but to raise its awareness to the higher self. And some spiritual teachings, we may find also a saying, higher ego self. You see, ego means self. Ego is a word for self, so ego is not bad. But we need to raise its awareness to the higher self, where we recognize from what state we are guiding ourselves towards where we are guiding ourselves. And that's a great mystery. That's a great mystery. So, but we are discovering it. That's why life is an adventure, and we are discovering where we are being guided and why, right? That's why we need to be in tune with ourselves to know what's going on. And when we hit the roadblocks and great challenges and we empty our cups, we need to take care of ourselves with great love and compassion so we can recharge the batteries and fill up the cup once again, right? Isn't that so? We need to fill up our cups again so we have something to share with this beautiful world. People around you they need your light, but not all the time. You also need your light for yourself. And that's where we learn to balance ourselves. So remember, my friends, remember to always take a good time for yourself. Because you're spending a lot of time with people at your job, with your family, and that's beautiful. Devotion to our brothers and sisters, that's beautiful, right? But devotion to yourself so you can evolve, so you can grow, so you can expand is also beautiful. And balance between one and another will bring harmony into your life. Because harmony can't exist if you're out of balance. And when you're out of balance, you will be reminded that you're out of balance. If you're not recognizing signs, they will become stronger. And that's what we're learning, right? So my friends, remember, there's no good and bad days in nature. There are just days of blooming and resting. And when you find yourself in the phase of the need for rest, take time for that. And take a good care of your sleep, go on a massage, do some yoga, meditate, read a good book, go to places like that, expand yourself, and nurture yourself like you want to be nurtured, because you deserve all of that. Maybe somebody would tell you that you don't, but you deserve all of that. And you need to remind yourself that you deserve all the care and love that you can offer to yourself. So see how much can you offer to yourself, because there's no limits to the mind of an explorer. Right? There's no limits to the mind of an explorer. And you are an explorer on this interesting journey, mysterious journey. Right? So my friends, I will leave you here. I hope you've enjoyed this short walk. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Till next time, stay beautiful, stay creative, stay honest with yourself, and stay true to yourself. One love.